Guten Abend und herzlich willkommen zu der zweiten Folge von Schrottwichteln. Wir wurden reich beschenkt vom Flixarot, nämlich mit A Kiss For The Petals, Remembering How We Met. Scheint wohl ein lustiges Anime-Spiel zu sein. Ich glaube, ich muss dazu sagen, dass ich in meinem Leben in etwa 0,2 Animes geschaut habe. Und deshalb das Spiel perfekt für mich geeignet ist. Aber ich denke, wir drücken einfach mal auf Start und schauen uns mal das an. As the seasons rolled on, the shape of things continued to change. Summer's torturous heat had relented before we knew it. And now the second autumn since I met my girlfriend was about to begin. Alles klar. Oh, it's already fall. As I murmured truthfully, Maya heißt sie, stifled a laugh next to me. Just when I think I've read it all, but that's just like you, Risa. Jeez, what was wrong with that? Even you can appreciate some level of sentiment, can't you? Well, perhaps. Aha. In layable response, Maya took my hand and interlocked her fingers with mine, squeezing it tightly. Mia squeezed. Do you have to squeeze so hard? That act alone was enough to make my heart start pounding. I don't mind when the weather turns cooler. It gives me license to warm up my heart's desire. Hehe. Come on, Maya. Why do you always have to go and say something embarrassing like that? Oh, so then don't you enjoy it, Risa? Well, I mean. I had a hard time answering that. Obviously I like it and she knows that. She just likes to tease me. Maya was the person I cherished above all else. But of course I could never tell her that directly. So I conveyed my feelings to her by gently squeezing her hand back. Hehe, you still embarrass so easily, Risa. But I can't help it, it's not like it's the kind of thing you can change overnight. But you have grown a bit from how you were before, I believe. Huh? How do you mean? Well, for example, holding your hand in a conspicuous place like this would have been enough to make the old Risa blush bright red. Well, it's still early right now, and there aren't any others in St. Michael's student around, so? And besides that, we'd both left for school a little early this morning. There was no sign of anyone else, so it was alright being this open. If I had been even a little bit later, it would have been out of the question. Oh, I see, it wouldn't bother me one bit, though, even if there were others around. Yeah, tell me about it honestly, haha. She really did have no shame when it came to the stuff. The way she proudly proclaimed it, looking at me from under her lashes, made my pulse quicken a bit more. Just then a playful wind lightly tossed Maya's hair around. Oh, there seems a bit of windy today. Yes, there sure is. For someone who prides herself on being the most beautiful girl at St. Michael's, it's no surprise her black hair is so lovely. Not to mention that the St. Michael's uniform suits her perfectly. Maybe it was because we had just switched uniforms today. But Mia looked particularly beautiful in her winter outfit. Oh, that's right. Mia and I were both wearing our winter uniforms back then too. Es ist keine Winteruniform, würde ich mal jetzt vermuten, oder? For a brief moment a nostalgic scene played through my mind. Ah, that really takes me back, hehe. Risa, what are you whining about over there? Huh? Was I smiling just now? Yes, you were smiling, it's adorable to be sure, but also a bit off-putting somehow. Oh, you're so mean. That silly grin of yours probably means you were thinking of something dirty, weren't you? I wasn't, honestly, like I'd ever do that. That's more like something you would do. Uh-huh. Huh? Why didn't you say anything back, Maya? Spielen wir auch noch oder lesen wir nur Text? It's unfortunate, you and I are just too different. You think so? Things seem to have taken an odd turn. Mia was always so quick to make sexual or perverted remarks, so why wasn't she acknowledging that side of herself today? Whenever I have sexual thoughts concerning you, Risa, I certainly don't let others know about it. I do have some degree of dignity. Huh? What are you saying? I'm at loss there. I maintain my expression, preserving this same appearance of excluding intellect, but in my head I'm imagining all manner of steamy passionate things involving you. Das wird ja ein lustiges Let's Play. So you try to put up a cool font, but in the end you're still thinking about it. Yes, of course I am. Honestly, to describe yourself as excluding intellect, you're really not short of confidence, are you? I merely stated a fact. After all, I mean the foremost intellect at St. Michael's. Well, that may be true, but during the entire first semester I never outscored her on a single quiz. At any rate, we've veered off track. Now then, what exactly were you thinking about that prompted that grinning fit a moment ago? Huh? You must give me all the juicy details. Oh well. Why did you just automatically assume it was some kind of dirty fantasy? Was ist denn das? Or was the face I was making really that perverted? Give me just a moment, Risa. I believe it would be wise of me to take notes regarding its content. Allow me to prepare. Prepare? Prepare what exactly? I thought for certain I had a voice recorder in my bag. Let's see, where could it be? Geez, you don't need to do anything to do all that. And wait, why are you walking around with a voice recorder, Maya? I use it for work. I used it at a meeting the other day, but I remember everything that was discussed, so it's safe for me to erase. What? That sounds important. Don't erase it, please. It wasn't that important. One of Risa's impure fantasies, recounted in her own voice, must be preserved for posterity. The value of something like this is on par with that on your freshly removed underwear. I dare say it's a kind of a national treasure. I told you it's not some kind of perverted fantasy. And besides, why would that kind of fantasy be worth the same as my underwear? That doesn't make any sense. Wer denkt sich sowas aus? Oh, very well then. If you're that opposed to telling me, then I'll relent. Huh. Hehe, although you're incredibly cute when you get this frustrated, Risa. So you were just messing with me then? Well, who can say? Now then, if it wasn't something sexual, what were you thinking about? Pressing her refined lips into a tight smile, Mia prodded me to continue. Ah, no, I was all agitated. Huh, well, okay. I'll tell you since it's no big deal. But you know how we started wearing our winter uniforms today. Yes, indeed. What of it? Oh, I know. Huh? You know already, Maya? But of course, it's the autumn of our second year. It's obvious. No, there was no way she knew what I was thinking. We shouldn't wait too long before having our uniforms renewed, right? Let's stop to order them in our way home today, Risa. Huh. See, I knew it. Not only did she know, she was the least frugal person I knew. Just drop them off at the cleaners and they'll be fine. New ones would be a waste of money. But haven't you grown a bit in certain areas since last year? Isn't yours starting to get snug? You mean, was she trying to say I'd gotten fat? I have noticed my rice started tasting a little bit better since the weather turned cooler. And Mia is always recommending those delicious mail order sweets to me like she does. Did I put on weight without even realizing it? Although witnessing the dramatic change in your expression was amusing enough on its own, that wasn't what I intended to say. Look, I mean like here. Yeah, what are you doing? Like I said, hasn't it gone a bit snug on the chest? It's not that snug. Really? You should wear clothes that fit you though. I had them size a little bigger to begin with, so this is fine. Bigger and even still. Please don't say anymore, Mia. That's right, even though I had them size it too big last year. It's already getting tight in the chest. But I won't ever admit that to Mia. Da hat sich ja Valentin was sehr Lustiges ausgedacht für mich. Anyway, I'm not wasting my money on something like that. You're certainly thrifty for a student of St. Michael's, Risa. He. But it's just unnecessary. Not to worry. I'll take care of your old uniform for you, and I'll offer you a fair price for it too. He. And then my Risa collection will be that much larger. No way, forget it. Jeez, would you listen to me for once? I never could tell how much she was being serious and how much she was joking at times like these. I really wished she would stop trying to get a hold of my used things. Anyway, that wasn't it. I stopped walking and turned to look back down the path we had been taking. Risa? Last spring on the day I put this uniform on the first time. That was the day I first met you this very tree-lined path. Mia narrowed her eyes slightly like I had and looked along the tree-lined path. And so I was just remembering everything we'd been through. Ah yes, that is true, isn't it? Mia met my gaze, looking similarly moved. I certainly have changed quite a bit since we first met. Yeah, so have I. A lot had definitely happened since then. Also, wir erfahren wohl die Geschichte von diesem jungen Paar, die wohl auf diese Schule gehen und dort lustige Sachen treiben. It had all led up to the two of us being here now. That encounter must have been some kind of small miracle. I can't help but wonder. Of course, if I say that out loud, she'll just make fun of me for being too girly again. Did you say something, Risa? No, it was nothing. Let's keep going, Mia. It's just about the time for everyone else to start getting to school. I wanted to be able to hold a hand like this just a little longer. This time we both squeezed each other's hand at the same time. And then we continued walking. I gave thanks for my good fortune, and though back on how Mia and I first met. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Nope, I'm good to go. As of today, I Azumi Risa, become a freshman at the St. Michael's High School campus. I'm standing at the starting line of a new chapter in my life. Although I say that, but we all just moved up from the middle school campus, so I already know everyone. Even so, I'm really excited about it. There are supposed to be so many elegant older girls at the high school. I want to learn all I can from them. And of course I'm going to have to put more effort into than ever into my studies. I'll have to work hard. Studying is a student's duty after all. It was true, I was attending St. Michael's, a school for refined young ladies, but I was practically middle class myself. And it wasn't like I was especially talented, plus my looks were average at best. So I'll just have to work that much harder. I'm going to build up my accomplishments. And my goal is to have the perfect attendance. That was definitely going to help me when I went on higher education and entered the job market. Ha ha ha. As I stood there renewing my resolve, I realized I still hadn't changed my clothes. Oh no, I need to get changed fast. For the next 3 years I would be putting myself into the hands of the St. Michael's High School uniform. That moment you put on a new uniform for the first time. There's no other feeling like this, hehe. Alright, I'm all changed. I found myself becoming giddy as I looked at my uniform-clad reflection in the mirror. Somehow wearing this makes me feel just a little bit more grown up, hehe. Even though I already knew everyone, wearing a different uniform made me feel like I might leave a different impression too. Not to mention the crisp plants and ribbon on the new uniform felt really good. Come to think of it, I heard a rumor that there were going to be a certain number of transfer students starting this year too. I never paid much attention to rumors, but this information had found its way to my ears. But that just became everyone was talking about it so loudly. Everyone was particularly sensitive to even the slightest change in our static environment. But still, I wonder what kind of girls are coming in. I'll have to be so sure to teach them if there's anything they don't know. After all, most of the students at St. Michael's had been part of the escalator program since kindergarten. They were largely uncompetitive, fairly soft-spoken girls from refined upbringings. It might take someone new off guard at first. It was definitely an awkward situation for me until I got used to it. But that's what makes me the perfect candidate for a class representative. After all, I'd been class representative all through my middle school years. I was the kind of person who liked to take care of others to the extent that some might say I was meddlesome. But I don't even know if any of those transfer students are going to be in the same class as me. Jeez, look at me. Even so, if the opportunity arose, I wanted to be as kind and as helpful as possible. And if I could help them learn to move St. Michael's, I'd be thrilled. Yeah, right, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Risa-san, good day to you. Yes, good day to you too. I look forward to seeing you again this year. Of course, so do I. A long tree-lined path led up the school building. Today's entrance ceremony was only for the freshmen. So, of course, I recognized everyone I saw. I'm not nervous at all. In fact, I'm actually feeling kind of relaxed. The only thing different from usual as where I was headed. It was the high school building. It's basically the same as always, huh? Yo. That girl who just walked past, who the heck was that? She was wearing the same uniform as us, but I didn't recognize her at all. Could she maybe be one of the transfer students? Her long beautiful black hair fluttered in the wind. Huh, she's so pretty. She seemed kind of aloof and solitary. This must be what they mean when they talk about people having their hearts stolen. Before I knew it, all I could see was that girl was her back as she walked away. She must be such an amazing person. All she had done was walk past. The whole thing occurred in a split second, but the image of her was permanently burned into my mind. Even at St. Michael's, I've never seen someone that amazing before. Risa-san, good day. Risa-san? Risa-san, what on earth has gotten into you? Oh, good day. I'm sorry, I was distracted by something. Haha, if you keep dawdling like that, you're going to be late for the entrance ceremony. You're right. I nervously picked up my piece. It's still all worked up for some reason. What is this feeling? It seems familiar somehow. Oh yeah, now I remember. It was just like those romance novels I read sometimes during my study breaks. Like one of those scenes where they met for the first time. When I think about it like that, it really seemed romantic. But that dark-haired girl, I had absolutely no idea how she viewed me. For me at least, that was a special account, I think. Would we ever meet again? That black hair of hers really stands out. I'll bet I definitely see her again at the ceremony. Yeah, anyway, I've got to hurry. And so, with a vague sense of anticipation, I made my way towards the high school assembly hall. What's the matter, Risa-san? That's such a big sigh. No, it's nothing. Hehe, the high school uniform looks so good on you, Risa-san. You think so? But I'm nothing special. No, now the girl I met this morning. This morning? Well, there's my classroom over there. I talk to you later. Risa-san? Oh jeez, what's wrong with me today? The entrance ceremony had concluded without incident, but I hadn't been able to see that dark-haired girl at all. I'm kind of disappointed. She stood out so much, I should have been able to spot her right away. That's what I figured at least. I guess real life doesn't turn out like in romance novels after all. Oh, you're... We crossed paths earlier on the tree-line path. Yes, so we did. I remember you quite well. Would you be one of these transfer students? Yes, I still don't know anybody here, so I was really glad that you spoke to me. If you wouldn't mind, would you like to be my friend? Yes. If you'll have me, then definitely. Thank you. Then let's not waste time starting today. Of course, let's go study together. Hehe, as if. I think it would have been I think it would have been lovely if we could have chatted and studied. I walked aimlessly while I thought about that, and nearly walked right past my own classroom. Jeez, this is no time to be fantasizing. This is no time to be fantasizing. My class was this one right over here, the freshman snow class. I had to be on my A game. I wonder how I would spend my days in this classroom during the upcoming year. Good day to you. Good day. Oh, we're in the same class again. Yes, I'm so glad. By the way, I spotted Yuna Sama this morning. But only the freshmen are supposed to be here today. Was she by chance doing work for the campus improvement committee? She may have been. I heard that Yuma-sama was recently appointed as the chairperson. Conversations like that were being murmured all around the classroom. Some people were already acting right at home in class. Others were waiting quietly in their seats for homeroom to start. Everyone seemed to be just doing their own thing. Let's see, my seat is... The seat locations were written on the blackboard with our names alphabetically. There it is. After double checking, I went to take my seat, but at that moment I suddenly found myself frozen in place. It was as if I alone had been plucked from the flow of time. No way. She was sitting in the seat right next to me. There was no mistake, that black-haired girl from this morning. It can't be. With my heart pounding, I sat down in my chair. This is bad. I've never been so nervous my whole life. Without making a sound, she looked straight ahead at the podium in silence. I don't believe it. I never expected a coincidence like this. Welch ein Zufall, würde ich mal sagen. Things from romance novels happen in the real life, in the real world after all. We were in the same class, and on top of that, her seat was right next to mine. This means we'll have plenty of opportunities to get to know each other now, and then maybe something like in my fantasy from earlier might even happen. What do I do? Spring, the first day of a fresh new beginning, and my heart just wouldn't stop pounding. Das ist ja aufregend, würde ich mal sagen. Our homeroom teacher entered and the class began, but I still wasn't able to calm down. I was constantly aware of the girl sitting next to me. This is bad, I can't seem to pull myself together. And so, beginning tomorrow, the classes will be as indicated. No. There was a pause in the information we were being given, and the teacher scanned the room with her eyes. What's the matter? We once again have a number of individuals transferring into the high school from outside this year. There may be many things they don't know, and they may be feeling lost. Everyone, if you see any of these girls having difficulty, please don't hesitate to speak to them. Everyone nodded in unison at the teacher's request. Now we have to have one of these students in our class. Of course, I already knew that. It's a girl sitting next to me. This student is particularly distinguished. She received a perfect score on the entrance examination. What? At that moment, a murmur began spreading through the class. A perfect score? My, how incredible of her! We would all do well to learn from her example. I heard the entrance exam for transfer student is incredibly hard. I wonder if I could get a perfect score if I were to take it. Probably not. I don't think I could achieve that no matter how hard I tried. Oh, what is this I'm feeling? Actually, I didn't even need to think about it. It's jealousy. I'm annoyed of her. All throughout middle school, my grades had always been at the top. Even without a rival to compete against, I'd continued to work my hardest. But someone had been beating me all along, this black-haired girl sitting next to me. Even as I was feeling jealous, a sense of envy and admiration was also starting to well up. There was a storm of complex emotions swirling around inside me. Excuse me, sensei, which person here is this transfer student? I instinctively looked at the girl next to me. It hadn't been said yet, but I already knew. She was the one. Everyone, please quiet down. And now then, son, would you please come to the front? Yes. I knew it. The teacher called the black-haired girl next to me and she rose smoothly from her seat. A collective sigh rippled through the classroom at her imposing figure. Ah, she's so beautiful. And she's so smart. On top of that, she's flawless. Everyone in class gave her their full attention. She really does stand out, of course. She would though, being that pretty. And even her grades were remarkable. There really were people like that. Well, AS-san, please introduce yourself. I'm AS Mia. The teacher wrote AS Mia on the board. Even her name is amazing, it suits her image perfectly. She must have been seated next to me since both our family names began with an A. Never in my life had I been so happy to have my name at the start of the alphabet. Right now I wanted to thank the heavens. It's a pleasure to meet all of you. After politely introducing herself, AS Mia-san flashed us a smile. Her smile is incredible too, she's so beautiful, ah. She was really working her charms on me. I believe I'm going to be a fan of this Mia-san. As am I want to show her so many things. Even though she had heard them, Mia-san didn't react, and instead regarded us quietly. That aloof bearing of hers is so wonderful. Yes, it really is. And that black hair is lovely enough to rival Shizuku Gozen from the senior class. Alright, alright. That's enough to talk for now. Now it's everyone else's turn. Many of you may already be acquainted from before, but let's all go ahead and introduce ourselves. Aya-san, you may return to your seat now. Okay. At that point, everyone in the class started giving their introductions. I'd been going to St. Michael's for several years, but there were still a number of girls I have never spoken to, or whose faces I recognized but names I didn't know. So this was the perfect opportunity for reacquainting myself. And so I'm looking forward to attending school with all of you. Very good. Next you in the back, please go ahead. They'll be coming around to me pretty soon. As I listened to everyone else's introductions, I was deciding what I wanted to say myself. I've basically decided, but I wonder if it won't be a little too stiff. I really didn't want anyone knowing that I liked romance novels and collecting stuffed animals, so I definitely couldn't tell them about that. Which meant my introduction was going to have to be pretty boring. But that is who I am, so maybe I'd be fine to just be myself. I knew there were some people who said things like that at their high school or even corporate debates. But if I forced myself here, even if I said things that made me popular or got me positive, leider bin ich nochmal aus Versehen auf die Maus gekommen und übersprungen, ärgerlich. It's true that this overly serious attitude of mine keeps me from ever being able to form close friendships with anyone, but still, Alright, next please. Oh, they'd managed to work all their way up to me while I'd been contemplating. Right, I'm Asumi Riza, A subtle murmur spread through the class as I stood. Azumi Riza-san. Her grades always put her on the honor roll. We're in the same class as Riza-san. As Riza-san again this year. How lucky for us. Als ob die sich wirklich so drüber freuen. Goodness, is she really that impressive? Yes, she's a really reliable individual. Our class is in good hands with her here. I can already tell you that Riza-san is going to be our class representative. It seems like everyone really focused on me. I was a little bit nervous, but first things first, I had to introduce myself. I've always devoted my energy to pursuit of knowledge, while doing my best to try and make each and every day meaningful. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Yes, very good. Next, please. Oh, das war ja tosender Applaus. That didn't seem to go too badly, but I wondered if it was a little too short. When I returned to my seat, Mia-san gave me an intense look. She had really paid attention during my introduction. What on earth was she thinking? What was she thinking? What on earth was she thinking? You seem pretty popular around here. Huh? No, it's fine. I'm looking forward to working with you, Azumi Riza-san. So, am I? It's nice to meet you, Ayesa Mia-san. Having the lovely Mia-san look at me like that, having her lovely lips say my name. It's too good to be true. I'm so glad I sit next to Mia-san. I dare to say it was the first person in our class to actually talk to her. That made me feel a little bit special. Several people glanced in our direction to check us out. Let me see if I can talk to her a little bit more. Mia-san. My heart was racing and my voice trembled a little bit. Yes, what is this? Well, if there's anything you don't understand, don't hesitate to ask. I will, thank you. That should just wrap things up for everyone's introductions. Well then, that's all for today. Das ist ja ein sehr ausgiebiger und lernreicher Schultag, würde ich mal sagen. Die stellen sich alle vor und gehen dann wieder. Oh, we're done already. That was going to be the end of my conversation with Mia-san for today. But tomorrow classes would be starting for real, and then I definitely have a chance to talk to her more. Mia-san is an excellent student. Maybe we can have a discussion about studying or something. Hehe, I can hardly wait. Oh, und wir haben sogar ein Achievement bekommen. I'm going to be a fan of this Mia-san. Und ich glaube, es tut mir leid, ihr seid wahrscheinlich alle so unglaublich gefesselt von dieser Geschichte und von dem unglaublichen Gameplay und alles. Aber leider haben wir schon über 30 Minuten aufgenommen. Und ich muss dann leider die Folge beenden. Es tut mir so unglaublich leid, dass ich von diesem fantastischen Spiel nicht noch mehr euch präsentieren kann. Es ist wirklich sehr fesselnd, sehr gut geschrieben, sehr gutes Gameplay, besonders auch sehr gutes Leveldesign, sehr gutes Questdesign meiner Meinung nach. Ich denke echt, es ist eines der besten Spiele, denke ich so. Und ich hoffe, dass ihr alle dieses Spiel auch selber spielen könnt, selber ausprobieren könnt. Gibt es auf Steam. Kann ich jedem nur empfehlen, macht sehr viel Spaß. Besonders auch die Steuerung ist sehr gut durchdacht, sehr genau, sehr flüssig. Ist auf jeden Fall ein sehr lohnendes Spiel. Macht sehr viel Spaß auf jeden Fall und sehr, sehr gut auf jeden Fall. Sehr realistische Grafik auch. Ja gut, dann ich bedanke mich natürlich bei Valentin, dass er diesen unglaublichen Einblick in dieses großartige Spiel für uns erst möglich gemacht hat. Da großes Shoutout an ihn. Das freut mich sehr, dass er so großzügig war, uns dieses Spiel zu schenken. Und ja, es gibt ja noch von Jan und Lenny, gibt es ja auch noch ein Wichtelspiel. Das wird auch sehr lustig die nächsten 2 Tage. Dann vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Spielt dieses Spiel selber, es ist absolut großartig. Und ja, vielen Dank und bis zum nächsten Mal, würde ich sagen.